to stay.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond Boards, a podcast dedicated to the actions and interests of skaters beyond skateboarding. My guest today, Javier Mendizabal, grew up in the Spanish part of the Basque country where he picked up his first board in 1989. At the age of 19, he moved to Barcelona and started connecting with skaters as the city was getting more and more global attention. In 1999, he got on Cliché Skateboards and from then on traveled all over the world shooting photos and filming for their various projects. After 15 years in Barcelona, Javier relocated to the French part of the Basque country where he spends most of his time painting, shooting photos and surfing whenever he isn't skating. So here's my conversation with Javier. I hope you'll enjoy it.
The rapture never ends.
So I'll have you listen to this very first one. So some of these people said their names, sometimes they don't, so if they don't, you'll try to guess.
Alright.
But I think this first person will be pretty obvious.
Papá, ¿por qué te gusta tanto el surf y el skate?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Yes, I thought so.
Incredible, amazing, thanks. That's my daughter, Nahia. She's 5 years old, 5.5. She was more into skating before. Now she's getting into surfing slowly. No pressure at all. Like sometimes I go skate. I ask her, and she wants to come. Sometimes not. But anyway, just answering the question. It's not easy to answer this question.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's different reasons because I started skating when I was way younger. I started when I was 11, 12 years old. You know, at that age, you're doing many things at the same time. You're riding your bicycle, you're playing football, basketball, many different things. And then skateboarding arrives. I was lucky to grow up in a village where there was a lot of surfing and skateboarding culture. So there was these older people around me. On the beginning, it was more around my neighborhood, you know. It was not even... Because I'm not originally from Algorta. I'm from next town, which is called Leioa.
Okay.
But there was this group of older guys skating already. I was maybe 11, 12. These guys were maybe 16. And they were more surfers, but skating also, but more into surfing. And I don't know, I just started skating and straight away it was just like, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do, you know.
Yeah.
I guess it's a combination of many things. It's adrenaline. On the beginning, I think it's more about, it's something that is difficult also. It's challenging. It has this adrenaline side, speed and jumping, all this shit. I guess then all the culture, all the creativity, music, culture stuff comes later. But I think on the beginning, it was more about this.
The sensations of skating.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's answering the skateboarding question. Surfing, it was something that I wanted to do always. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was already teenager, it was something that it was there because, you know, I'm from a coast little town.
The ocean, is it far from where you lived?
No, not at all. Like my parents, they live like not walking distance, but I used to ride my bicycle, and yeah, it's very close.
Okay.
It's very close. And the skate park La Cantera is right at the beach, you know, and there was already a really strong, when I arrived at La Cantera, there was already like a really strong and amazing skate scene happening. But it was always mixed with the surfers. The surfers were coming and, you know, so surfing was always there. And I tried when I was a teenager, but surfing takes time and I didn't really put the energy. I was already on a skate rat, 100%. So I started traveling then when I was 19 and I moved to Barcelona, and then I was traveling more and more. But it was always on the back of my head, you know. And I knew I was gonna try it harder, you know, like really like try it for real at one point. And it was when I moved to France, you know, when I was like, it was pretty much
So 11 years ago, more or less?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was pretty much the end of my, let's say, my skateboarding career thing, that it was ending, and I was in Barcelona. I was like, okay, what is next? And then I met Carine, my wife. I started coming here to visit her, and then more often. And finally, I was having more clothes here than in Barcelona. And I decided to come here. So my life, I went from being in Barcelona as a skater, having a lot of social life, traveling, to move to a country where I was not speaking the language and I didn't know that many people. So there was not that many distractions, to say. And I was like, okay, I think that's about the right time to start surfing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what happened.
And so how far is the ocean from where you're living now?
Oh, it's walking distance. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
like 600 meters, like 5-7. Yeah.
That's the dream right there. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is cool.
Do you surf a lot these days, or what's like your kind of surfing routine these days?
To be honest, I asked you to change our meeting today from 10 to 11 because there was the forecast was...
You had a session this morning? Yeah.
I tried. No, I didn't. But the surf report was really good.
Okay.
So I was
yeah.
but I went, and then the waves were not that good. So I might go after our conversation today.
I used to go surfing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I try to go. I mean, obviously it depends on the surf, on the waves, but I try to go, let's say, twice a week. Sometimes I don't even go not even once, but sometimes I surf 3 times a week. It really depends. But, yeah. Surfing, I don't know. It has obviously a brotherhood with skateboarding. They're similar in some ways and not so similar. But it was just something that I wanted to try. I have many friends that they surf. Also, when I moved here to France, I was working as a freelance with Quicksilver, and a lot of my friends were surfers. So I started surfing, and it was something really cool, I guess, because many people was like, "Oh, you're a good skater, so surfing is gonna be really easy for you." And
but it's completely different.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Also, I started surfing when I was 35, 36, so that's really old,
Yeah, I guess so.
But it was cool just to be a completely beginner.
Yeah.
You come from skateboarding where you're supposed to be okay, you're good at it, and then you start doing this thing that is similar in a way, and you are like a completely beginner. You are in the middle, the people is like yelling at you, it's like, get out of the way, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's a humbling experience.
Oh,
I'm
humbling.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know. It was really cool. It's not that I'm much better, but I'm better now. And it's amazing. Just like the connection with nature and just And I don't know. It's skateboarding is like you go for an hour and you skate whatever, skate park or street. And surfing is like you go for an hour or an hour and a half, and you might end up catching 2 waves.
Yeah.
And 2 waves can be 4 seconds each wave. The rest is just like being just lay down on the ball, waiting, paddling. It's completely different. But the sensation, the feelings are incredible.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
As we grow older, skating becomes harder and harder, more challenging because our joints are becoming more just are beaten up, from years of abuse.
Yeah.
So skaters are basically doing more and more low impact stuff, and you see people like Jeremy Daclin who are still ripping but doing more like slappies and that kind, or transition and that kind of stuff, lower impact stuff compared to what he was doing when he was in his 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
But what about surfing? Like, how do you experience that yourself? Like, is it as challenging and difficult on your body as it is with skating, or is it a bit more mellow and easier because it's in the water and there's maybe not as much impact?
Yeah, there is definitely way less impact and it's softer. Water is softer. So, and I don't really push myself, as I say, I start too late. Not too late, it's never too late, but I
Later
start,
than what's yeah, sure.
So yeah, I don't push myself very very hard. When it's too big, I don't paddle out. Yeah, so
You know your limits, kind of.
yeah. I don't want to put myself on sketchy situations. I'm too old for that. So yeah, it's like I have my limit, and yeah.
Yeah, you just want to have a good time. And,
Yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah.
All right, let's do this one.
So the question for Javi will be, how influential has it been knowing and getting close friendships with Ferdy and Thomas Campbell through his both the skateboarding career and after art career? And we just like to know, I would like to know some moments where he shared with them that were crucial. All right, so that's the question. All right, cheers, bye.
Wow. I knew this question was going to come, but I don't know where it's coming from right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who is this.
This is Manuel Palacios.
Oh, okay. Wow, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
And you guys probably speak Spanish together, so...
Yeah. Oh, wow, great, Manu.
So from what I read, I saw that he was pro on Cliché right as you were getting on. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Manuel got on Cliché at the very beginning.
Right,
before,
97.
So from day one. And it was through him and through Alexis Tavialov too, who was a photographer in Barcelona when I arrived in Barcelona. It was through both of them that I got in Cliché. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, answering the question, both of them. I met Fernando first. Fernando Elvira is a great artist, creative, incredible creative guy who was the editor of 360 magazine. So I met him when I was 15 years old, I think. It was a moment where I was hanging out with some guys that friends that they were not skating that much or not skating, so I was skating less. And then I met him. I knew who he was, and so we skate together. We have a session together, and he was like, "Oh, we start talking. Where are you from? Blah blah blah." And then I think I didn't even have a board at the moment. So through a friend in common, he was like, "Man, I have a board for you. Let's go skate again." So I started, he gave me a board and we started hanging out and then we became really close friends. And he's,
Is he a few years older than you?
Yeah. I was going to say he's around 10 years older than me. Older generation, yeah.
Okay.
So he's been probably the biggest influence I have had in my life. It was through him that I met Thomas later. But anyway, he introduced me to a lot of people. He introduced me into photography, painting, everything. He gave me my first camera, Nikon FM2.
Oh, nice. Okay.
As a present, and. I was young, I was 15. He was already traveling around the world, and I was just like, I was really impressed and really influenced by him.
Inspired,
yeah. And then we met, and then I met Thomas through him.
So that was that a few years later, or?
Yeah, I would say maybe a year later, or a year and a half.
Not long after. Okay.
No, they were good friends. Thomas was traveling around Europe, and he came to Spain, and he was staying with Fernando.
So that's what year would that have been? Like early 90s, mid 90s?
I'm really bad with names. With names too, but with years.
Dates.
Let's see. I'm from 77, so 87. Yeah, I would say 92, 93, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, around there.
Thomas was traveling at the time. He was spending some time in Morocco, I think.
He was coming to Spain. Then he was going to Morocco for surfing and painting, renting a studio for 2 months, then coming back to Spain. He started shooting photos for Transworld, and he started working on a documentary, on an article about Spain. It was called Spain is Spain. And but at the time I was, he was shooting with like the big names in Spain at the time. Manuel Palacios was one of them, and Alain Goicoechea, and all these guys they were already a sponsor and they were already well known in the Spanish scene. But not me. I was still like a little kid in my little town that I just met Fernando, and through him I met Thomas. So I ended up shooting a couple of photos, and then the article came out on Transworld, and it was through this article that I got my very first sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that sponsor? Was it a brand or was it like a kind of a distribution deal?
It was a distribution. Yeah, it was the guy in Madrid who was doing the distribution for the Lux.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met. So that was a long time ago, and then and that was it. And then we spent maybe, let's say, a week with Thomas, and then we lost track of each other for many years. And it was like I would say 12 years ago. My phone rang and he was said, "Hey, what's up?" Because I didn't even speak English when we met, and he was not speaking Spanish, so communication was very limited. And then many years later, I was in Barcelona, my phone rang, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, Javi? This is Thomas Campbell." And I was like, "Whoa!" So we spent like an hour on the phone and talking about life and things in general. And
is that when he was thinking of doing Cuatro Sueños Pequeños?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He was like, that was one of the reasons why he contacted me. Is like, I've been doing all these surf movies for the last years, but I am planning to do now like a skate movie. It's like the very beginning, but I want you to be involved, and I don't even know how, if it's as a skater or helping me, or at the end I did everything. I skate, and I help him with pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I was like, man, I'm going to LA in a week. It was like a Cliché trip.
Okay.
I was like, man, you gotta come to visit me. He was already based in Santa Cruz, so I went to LA. I did the trip with the Cliché guys, and then I flew to San Jose. He came to pick me up, and we spent like a week together. It was funny because, we didn't really know each other because we spent like a week together, not really speaking the same language. I was 15, 16 years old, and then you met again, I don't know, 15
years later.
15 years later,
Yeah.
But, the connection was just, straight away.
So when he approached, and we'll talk about it because some other people asked about Cuatro Sueños Pequeños, but when he called you and told you, when you started talking about that, did he already have in mind that he wanted to work with you and Matters and like Fred Mortagne, or did that kind of all come together later?
It came a little bit later. He didn't really have anything planned, It was,
okay.
during this first week that we spent at his place, we started talking about it, shaping. He knew that he wanted to film in Europe. And I think he already had, because he knew who Fred was, but they never met before, So he asked me, he's like, do you think that Fred will be interested in being part of this? And I'm like, man, 100%, like 100%. And I called Fred, and he said no.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I said, yeah, 100%. And then I called him, and he's like, man, Javi, thanks for this is an amazing project, and thanks for thinking on me. But at the time, he was renovating a house. They bought, with Stephanie, his wife, they bought a house, and he was doing the full renovation.
Oh, I see. He was super busy doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's like, I cannot, this is like a full-time, not full-time project, but this is like a long-term project, and I cannot do it.
Yeah,
it's not the right time.
For a few weeks or something. Yeah, it's difficult.
So I go back to Thomas, and it's like, man, he said no.
Yeah.
And then the day after, he called me back, and he's like, man, I haven't slept.
He's been thinking about it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I cannot say no.
Okay.
So he was in. And then Madas came a little bit later. Thomas was like, man, I think because we already decided that it was gonna be me skating. Mm-hmm. But Thomas thought that it was gonna be better if there was a second skater, and we started talking about different names, and I told him about Matters.
Did you know him already, Matters?
Yeah. He was on DC first, that I was not, but then he started riding for Quicksilver, that I was, part of Quicksilver.
Right.
But I knew him from Barcelona anyway. And Thomas really liked him because he was, he's like a little bit of the opposite, like blonde guy, I'm dark hair, like both of us, we are like tall guys, but different styles, different approach. And Thomas liked him straight away. He thought that, he was obviously way younger than me, so it was cool to have fresh energy,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out great. It's such an iconic film. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was for me. It was a dream project. Just to be able to work with Thomas and shape it. With him, and even the music. He was my good friends that I grew up with from my hometown. I suggest them as to do the music for the movie. So yeah, it was the locations, the spots, everything. So it was a dream for me.
All right, this next one I have is from Quentin De Briey.
Yep.
You guys go way back. I think you were roommates for a little bit in Barcelona, long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. But yeah, we were roommates for a while. Yeah.
So for listeners who are not familiar with him, he's also a very talented photographer and skater. So he said, Javier, do you remember when we went to the Sonar Festival and we woke up under a tree by a mosque in Istanbul?
I do remember, yeah. Yeah.
What's the story?
We were living together, skating together, and we were planning these trips, skate trips. Conta was shooting skate photos at the time. I mean, portraits. I mean, not much into fashion, but he was shooting a lot of photos, and he was working for Kingpin magazine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we were like planning trips for Kingpin. And Kenny Reed was living in Barcelona. I think Jerry Sue was already living in Barcelona. Anyway, we planned this trip with Kenny and Jerry Sue and Tony Cox. And then Conta and myself, we already have the tickets, the flights, and it was Sona was happening, Mm-hmm. So I think the flight was really early in the morning. So we decided to go out. And we stay out all night. And we went straight to the airport. We arrived in Istanbul, and we were a bit tired. I think we were just we have like a hotel or something, and it was too early, so we have to wait, to be able to check in.
Check in, yeah, right, yeah.
So we just fall asleep in the grass between the two, how do you call them? The mosques? Yeah.
The mosque, yeah. I think you say the mosque, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we fall asleep, and then suddenly we just wake up with a Muslim call, when they call them to pray.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So it was just like, we just wake up and look at each other, and it was like, whoa, what's,
where are we?
Where are we? We were, half of us were still in Sonar, and it's like, whoa, it was really funny.
He also asked, when I met you, you were not so much into partying. Then a couple years later, you showed us all how to do it. Do you remember how it all started?
Yeah, when I arrived in Barcelona, I went to study actually, and it's true, I wasn't into party at all, and I think the very first year I didn't really go out. Maybe just for a few beers in the afternoon, but not really at night.
Okay.
I was studying, and I was also discovering the city and the spots. It was like everything was really new, and I was more into skateboarding than anything else. And then slowly, I started meeting some other people and start going out. And I mean, it's not me that I saw them how to party, but we party a lot, me and Conti.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the right place and the right time,
Well, kind of linked to that, this next question is from Tony Cox. And he said, ask Javier what was one of his most memorable nights in Barcelona nightlife?
Oh my God, this is sounding like I'm the...
Yeah, the party animal.
The party animal. Wow, there's been many nights. But Since it's Tony Cox asking, first thing that it comes to my mind is we were in this club. It was called Club 13, and it was Tony there. I'm pretty sure that Conta was there too, and Ali Boulala was there too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Tony Cox and Ali Boulala together, it was hard to describe. But, I mean, there was some dancing going on. Tony Cox is probably the most amazing dancer I ever met.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's incredible. I see him in Primavera Sound on the stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. He's incredible.
Wow.
Anyway, that night he started doing his thing, dancing, and then he grabbed this chair and started, dancing around it with the chair, kind of having sex with the chair. And then Ali Boulala arrived, and he just went straight into the Tony show with the chair, and it was just like incredible. It was just like Tony Cox, Ali Boulala, a chair, a dance floor, and a group of people around them, and it was just like, wow. Yeah.
Did anybody film that? I assume not, but yeah.
No, there was no. I mean, there were cell phones, but not many cameras at the time.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Too bad. Yeah.
Hard to describe, but let's say just wow. It was just wow.
All right. Again, this next question will kind of be connected to everything we just talked about. Let's see.
Yo, Javi, how you doing? It's Hugo here. What's up? Hey, could you tell us a story when you had that bar in Barcelona? Would you do that job again?
I was just with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We were just checking the waves this morning together.
Hugo Morales, right?
Yeah. Hugo Morales. He was here already, living here when I moved here. So he's my homie, we skate. He's still skating. I mean, he has a Telmo who is, I would say 12, 13 years old. And I skate with them pretty much every day.
Oh, amazing.
And surfing too. So, yeah, going back to the question, La Lola. I have a bar. I never really wanted to have a bar, it was more my friend Patrick and my friend Luigi, who was with us this morning too. But it was more Patrick, he is a legendary skater from Spain. He was one of my heroes when I was a teenager, he had I was really into Matt Hensley too when I was younger, and Patrick have this look. But not only the look, the skating too, really similar, or at least to me, it was similar to Matt Hensley. Anyway, it was Patrick who came with the idea of opening a bar. He's really into flamenco music. His family comes from flamenco too. So, yeah, from the beginning, I was like, I'm not going to be working in the bar, but let's do it. Why not? Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Since we were going out quite a lot, why not have our friends coming to our
Your
bar?
own bar, yeah, sure.
So then our friend Javi from the Canary Islands was part of the bar too. But it was Patrick running the bar. It was a flamenco bar near, around the corner from my house, it was not a good idea. But it lasted 3 years. It was, I was traveling quite a lot still, and I was coming back, and it was just the perfect place to meet everyone,
Yeah.
And, I don't know if you know, but there's all these Spanish skaters that are really into flamenco, like Daniel Lebron, Javier
Fernandez,
Jesus. Yeah. So they were all coming, and it was fun, man. It was really fun. If I would do it again, probably not. No. But
not right now, yeah.
No, and I live in a completely different. I mean, it's a different timing for me. Having a family too. I don't live in a city anymore, and I have a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, but it was really fun, man. It was really fun.
For some reason, I never heard about you owning a bar. I discovered that when he sent me the question. You probably didn't speak much about it in interviews or something? Or, yeah.
No, not really. No, it was... it was the very last 3 years of Barcelona, you know, and I was not the front man, you know, I was on the back. I'm just remember that I did when we did the Cuatro Sueños Pequeños premiere in Barcelona. After party was in La Lola, and it was a big night. And I remember Thomas being there, and he was really he really enjoyed it. And then after that, for a while, he was telling me, he's like, man, I want to open a bar with you, and we should call it. It was a really good name. I don't know if it's gonna make sense in English, but he wanted to call it La Borracheria. You know?
Is it borracho? Is it drunk, right?
Yeah, borracho is drunk, and in Spanish, they like this ending. Hería is like a pastelería or panadería is like the place where, you know, for bread or for, you know. It's the place to go get drunk, you know, la borrachería.
The drunkery or
but it doesn't really exist. Like no one really says that. So it was really funny, and for as a joke, for a few years we were planning to do. I mean, we knew it was not going to happen, but we talked about it.
Fantasized about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Thomas, the next question is from him. So he said, how did you get inspired to paint? And then he asked a second thing, but we can get to that afterwards. He said, tell your ski jumping story.
Oh, wow. Everything is coming out. I mean, the painting, Thomas himself has a lot to do with it. And Fernando, as I already said before, I got influenced by both of them a lot. They were taking photos, they were making music, they were painting.
Super creative, yeah.
So, you know, I started... First, in the beginning, it was more taking photos. But I started, you know, having my diaries that I have some of them here on the table next to me. And I started writing, and I started doing a little bit of collage, and, you know, something that they were already doing, you know. They were having these diaries where they were painting and drawing, and so I started doing that. But because of traveling, painting requires time and space, you know. Yeah. So I was not really painting much. I was more drawing and taking photos, doing a little bit of collage. And it was not until I get here to France, you know, that I start surfing and I start painting. I start having more time and not much traveling. And it was there when I have my studio and more time, and but it was pretty much because of them.
Okay.
It was just something that I wanted to do. I just couldn't find the time and the space until I get here to France. Mm-hmm. What was the second question?
Ski jumping.
Yeah, ski jumping. Ski jumping, I mean, this is way back. This is, I was already skating, you know, I think I was around 12, 13. I started skiing with my family when I was 5 years old. You know, every winter we were going...
In the Pyrenees?
In the Pyrenees, yeah. But it was through a good friend of mine at the time at the school that I don't know how he started, but he started ski jumping. Ski jumping is probably the weirdest sport you can practice being Spanish, because it doesn't exist. But this guy somehow started ski jumping, you know, and straight away he got into, because there's no people, you know, so as soon as you start jumping, you are on the Basque team. And he was coming back to school, you know, after the weekend, and started telling me about it. I mean, man, that sounds really cool. I want to do it too. So next year I start going with him. Mm-hmm. And I and straight away I was on the Basque team, and then next year I was on the Spanish team. And I think it was on the second year I was we were like maybe 9 people in Spain. So I was a Spanish champion. It wasn't very difficult. Yeah. And then they started taking him, or they tried to take it more seriously, and they took us out of school for a year to train, you know, and we were training, but my parents were not very happy. I mean, we tried, because we were having teachers with us, you know, but it was horrible, you know, the exams, and I didn't approve of anything, you know.
Okay.
So also skating was starting to be more important for me, you know. So I think I did it for 2 years and a half, and then my parents were not very happy of having me, not doing the school, and then I was more into skateboarding, and just like naturally I pretty much give up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I had never heard about that. Yeah, it's so random that you started doing that.
Yeah, not many people knows about it.
All right, let's do this one.
Hi Javier, Derenne speaking. When I think about you, the word freedom comes to my mind. What freedom means to you in your daily life, in skateboarding and in painting? I have a second quick question. If you were to choose from these two tricks, which one would you choose and why? Backside nose blunt or switch backside disaster? I love your paintings as much as I loved watching you skateboarding. Enjoy your life. Cheers, Ben.
Okay, wow. Let's start with the easiest one, the tricks.
Yeah.
Two tricks that I like and I still can do not too big transition, medium-sized transition. I think I would say switch backside disaster.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been doing switch backside lip slides lately, and I really enjoy the sliding and the movement. I have done a few backside northbound slides on transition, but it's not something that I can do as easy as switch backside lip slides.
Okay.
I would say switch backside lip slide, but both tricks I like them, and luckily I can still do them.
What about switchback nose blunts on transition? Have you ever done some of those?
Probably, a few times, but I do it more like, coming fakey, like frontside half calf,
Oh yeah, frontside half cap to front blunt kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Freedom. That's what skateboarding is to me, I was having this conversation a couple of days ago, how skateboarding has changed a lot lately, with all these, the Olympics and federation, national teams, and which is cool, It's cool. It's evolution, I guess, and but it's just not the way I understand and I live skateboarding. And I'm not saying that there is, maybe these guys, they feel the freedom too, I don't know. Late 80s and early 90s, it was quite different from now. And in my opinion, there was way more freedom. And that's one of the main things that attract me from skateboarding, the lack of rules and the creativity, just being free to create and do your thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Come with your tricks. At the end, it's us. We choose the tricks we want to do and the way we want to do it, and that's a reflection of your personality, and that's how I see skateboarding. And that's what means freedom to me in skateboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Painting, it's a different story for me because I started painting not so long time ago, like I would say 11, 12 years ago. I'm older, and I think, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but just getting older, it's easier. It's harder to be as free as when you were a teenager,
You have more responsibilities and people are counting on you.
I guess too, and it goes with personalities too. I have a lot of artist friends, and we talk about painting and freedom and all this stuff, and I have some good friends that I admire. I really like. I admire their work, and I see the freedom in their work. And I would like to go sometimes in that direction, but maybe, the way that, for example, Ben looks at my paintings, he feels that there is a lot of freedom, but it's not the way I feel it. I would love to be more free, Sometimes I feel free, but most of the times it's hard to break, you get into this style, you get into these routines.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm fighting. I'm telling you, I'm fighting to be more free.
I see. Yeah. Because now since you've been doing it for a while, you kind of have your routine and you start, you have all this experience. So I guess when you stand in front of a blank canvas, it's hard to reset totally probably how you will approach a painting.
Yeah. Also, the more you paint, it's like skateboarding. Like I say before, your personality start to show up.
Yeah, sure.
The colors, the shapes, whatever. Like what you do, it's your personality is
A reflection of you. Yeah. Sure.
And you are creating your own style, and it's normal, to have this happening. But it's a fight. It's an interior fight that I have all the time to just don't get too how do you say,
stuck in your ways, kind of. Or?
Yeah, I like to break sometimes things, not my paintings, but to break. Which maybe it will be something good to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But break stereotypes and break routines and try new things, new directions.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a conversation you probably have a lot with other artist friends of yours, like Thomas and other people, Fernando. How do they, like, when you feel kind of stuck in a way of doing painting or whatever form of expression you're doing?
I have friends that they found their own thing, their style, and they're okay with that, and it works good for them, and I totally respect that. Maybe it's that I just not get there yet, or maybe it's that I don't want to get there. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, but at the moment, obviously I have my own style, and it's there, it's happening. But I try to stay open and try to explore new directions.
Right.
So freedom. I try as hard as I can.
Yeah.
With my paintings.
Okay, let's see. It's another Cliché friend of yours.
Hey Quentin, hey Javier, Jan Kliewer here. My question would be, in the early 2000s we went to on a Spain tour with Cliché and also visited La Cantera skate park in Basque country, and there was a guy there that was doing, in my memory, barefooted frontside grinds, grabbing his tail on the bowl extension or on the bowl. And I was wondering if Javier remembers this guy and if he has like any special stories from him, because I thought that was like one of the punkest moves I've ever seen someone do on a skateboard. And always thought it was fascinating. Maybe as a story from La Cantera or from that guy especially. That would be great. Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Cool. It's been a while, Jan. Yeah, I mean, it must be my friend Palo, but he was not the only one. There was the barefoot skating was like a pretty common thing there. Not pretty common, but he was not the only one. But it must be Palo.
Okay.
Palo is... I was with him last weekend. I went down, I live in France, but I live 1 hour and a half drive from La Cantera. So I try to go quite often and spend some time. And I was with Palo last weekend. Palo, I have La Cantera book right in front of me here on my table.
Yeah, that's right. You did a book with, was it with Fernando Avira as well?
With Fernando and John Amiano, yeah. And in the cover is Chus Dominguez, who is, he's a bit older than Palo, and we were having this conversation with Fernando and John, who should be in the cover. And it was between Chus and Palo.
Okay.
Yeah, Palo is a true legend, from La Cantera. He's been there since day one, too. A bit younger than Chus. Pretty quiet guy. He doesn't talk much, but amazing style. And I'm pretty sure Jan talks about this, about Palo, yeah. He is still around. He doesn't skate much, but if you're lucky and he grabs a skateboard, you will be, he still has it. La Cantera is a very special place to me.
Yeah.
That's where we did this book, we were in... John is a really good friend of mine. He came to Barcelona. We moved together to Barcelona, and even we have an amazing time. John is back in Algorta. We were missing Algorta a lot,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you go away, from a place, but even from let's stay focused. From a place, you realize about how amazing it was or it is, this place, you know?
Yeah.
You discover some of the places and it's cool and it's wow, you know, but then it's like you realize my hometown or what I have there is actually really cool, you know? And that's a little bit what happened too, you know? We were like 19, we went to Barcelona, we went to move away from Algorta and see some other places, you know? And it was from there where we realized how special was La Cantera.
Yeah, it made you appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, so it was just one of these. Me and John, we were living together too for a while, and it was actually John's idea. I have to say, we were just having some beers and this Basque bar because we were missing the Basque country. We were going to a Basque bar in Barcelona. So John just said once, just having a beer, we should make a book about La Cantera. Oh, that's a great idea, and we spent probably a year drinking beers and talking about
it.
Yeah, talking about it. And then slowly we start, you know, getting into it. And then we called Fernando. Yeah, and then I think that what we did, it was we rented an office in Algorta for a month.
Okay.
And we let everyone know, you know, we call everyone. It's like, hey, we're going to be here for a month. We want to do a book about La Cantera, but we didn't want to tell all thing about La Cantera, you know. For us, it was really important to have a book that is pretty much written by everyone, you know, to have everyone involved and telling. We pretty much invite everyone to come and bring photos, but also to write whatever they want to, you know. What is La Cantera in your life? Or just say just tell us about a funny afternoon thing, you know, story.
Yeah.
And that's what the book is, you know.
Okay.
So there is thousands, millions of stories about La Cantera. So I cannot tell you go and buy the book because there is no more left.
Oh, too bad, yeah.
But just go to La Cantera. It's still
just go there. Just go skate there.
It's still happening. Yeah.
Is it? I think I saw somewhere that it was one of the first skate parks in Spain, wasn't it?
Yeah, not the very first one, but one of the first ones. Yeah, I think the first one was in Catalonia. And then after that, it was Madrid, Parque Sindical. And La Cantera was the third one, I'm pretty sure. And La Cantera was inspired, like the shape and the ramps were not a copy, but it was inspired by the one in Madrid, by Parque Sindical. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after, it was funny, you know, because there was no culture. There was no many skate parks. So La Cantera was built thanks to Chus and many other people. That's what Chus in the cover. And then after La Cantera, skating was growing really fast. It was getting bigger, you know, and there was many skaters around everywhere, you know. Mm-hmm. So people were start asking the city halls, hey, we want a skate park too. And it was like you know, like another sport. It's like having a soccer field. So they were just copying the same skate park. They thought, okay, this is a skate park.
Yeah, does do the exact same thing.
It's like a basketball field or like a soccer field. And for a while, there was all these little villages in the Basque country copying exactly the same skate park. So there is many La Cantera ones, you know.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a funny thing, and yeah.
All right, let's do this one.
Hey Javier, been a long time, my friend. I had a few questions that I think might have some nice answers from you. From being such an integral team member to Cliché over its lifespan, I wonder some of your favourite memories looking back on all the incredible tours and videos that you went on and filmed, from Europa to the Gypsy tours to all of the in-between tours that they ran. Some of your favourite memories from those times, and some of your favourite Jeremy Gaklin stories, because there's always amazing ones of that. And then following that, with the quite quick demise or end of Cliché, I was wondering if you felt any fear, or if if you wanted to continue your skateboarding career with a different brand following that, or if you had already started to transition onto the next chapter of your life, and how that all kind of broke down for you, because it was quick from my memory. It came around with not much knowledge. So yeah, your favorite cliche memories, tours, people, stories from that amazing time span you spent there, and then your thoughts on your career following the quite quick breakdown of cliche and what you were going to transition onto next in life. Anyway, Javier, lots of love from Brophy.
Yeah, and you. Amazing. Well, Cliché has been my only board sponsor.
So from like, what, 99 or 8 till 20, when did it stop? 2016, 2017?
I don't remember.
Something like that, I think, more or less.
Yeah, because I moved to France in 2014. Yeah, around 2015, 16. Yeah,
right.
Around there. And I think I got in Cliché on 1999, I believe. Yeah, I told you I'm bad with names. But wow, yeah, Cliché. I mean, Europa video was a bit different.
Yeah, it was Ben Derenne making it.
Yeah, and I didn't really go on that many trips. I was with Alexis Tavialov. These guys were coming to Barcelona, and we were skating together in Barcelona. I was filming with I was shooting photos with Alexis Tavialov and filming here and there. But yeah, it wasn't like a video that it was planned from the beginning. You know, it was like the very first video. You know, so it was like, okay, just collecting footage. You know, from here and there.
Right.
But it was a great video. I mean, it was amazing. I remember going to San Francisco right after it came out. You know, it was like a European brand at the time. And I remember being in San Francisco and people start to recognize me, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, Cliché. And I was like, what? I was really surprised, amazing. You know, because I didn't know. I think, you know, a European brand, European video, you know, Europe. It was called Europe. Anyway. I was impressed. I think it had a review in a Slap magazine too, and yeah.
I think I talked about this with Ben a while ago, but yeah, it's funny just to think, because we're talking, this is late 90s, early 2000s, way before, you know, any social media, no YouTube, no nothing. So for a European brand to even, you know, get a video in a skate shop in the States and get a review in a magazine was very unheard of, kind of.
Yeah, it was bigger than I thought it was gonna be, you know, like the impact.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was Bon Appetit. I was already friends with Fred. Yeah. And I mean, I became straight away really good friend with Fred, and it's been incredible working with him the whole time, you know, until pretty much yesterday. Mm-hmm. We're still good friends, and just coming, the first thing comes to my mind obviously is like the gypsy tours, you know.
Yeah.
It was really intense, and I was not even going for the whole thing. Most of the times I was like arriving later or leaving before, or you know.
Right. Yeah.
But it was so wild. It was like talking about freedom before. That was like that was freedom.
So for the listeners, can you remind us? From what I remember, it's I don't remember what year was the very first one, but you guys would go on these tours where Jérémy would give you only 10 euros a day to buy all your food, whatever. Like that's all you had, and you were like not showering, just bathing in the sea or something, whatever. Just kind of living that lifestyle with very, very little money, and skating and
not knowing where were you gonna sleep. You know?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course.
Because it was like we were skating out there all day long, you know, and having these 10 euros budget for food or whatever. But then for me, the hardest part was just like, you know, ending the session at the end of the day. And then it's like, okay, now we need to find a place to sleep.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes it was easy, but sometimes it was not, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was a nice spot, but sometimes it was not a nice spot.
Yeah. I'm sure.
So, yeah, obviously there was a lot of alcohol involved to make the sleep
acceptable.
To make exactly, make it nicer, the spot, and to make the sleep easier.
Yeah.
But I don't have anyone. I mean, there is some stuff that is better that I don't talk about it. But I don't have a specific one. But it was just like so wild. So a lot of fun, obviously, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was we were having guests every year. There was a different guest.
Yeah, I remember you had Lee Smith, right? He came on one of them.
Lee Smith came, and Fred Gall came.
Oh, no way. I forgot about... Oh, my God. Fred Gall.
That was... We were in Malaga, and that was like, wow.
I mean, I don't know him personally, but I'm sure it must have been, chaotic.
Yeah, it was chaotic, yeah. Just talking about Jeremy too, Andrew was asking me about Jeremy. It was funny because I met Jeremy before Cliché, and Al Boglio too.
Oh, before you started Cliché, you mean?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They came with Michael Melly to Algorta, to La Cantera. We were actually in La Cantera, and there was like up the hill in town, there was like the street spot, the little plaza. And we were in La Cantera, and someone came and told us, like, hey, there is some pros, there is some Americans. Mm-hmm. Any of them were American, but there's some American pros in San Nicolas, the street spot. Yeah.
Right,
so
right.
we ran up the hill to meet these guys, and it was there was someone else, I can't remember, but it was Al Boglio, Michael Melly, Jeremy Duckline, and someone else.
Okay.
So we skate that afternoon, and then, if I remember right, there was a contest in Vitoria, which is like almost an hour drive, and we drove all together to that contest. So we spent some time together, and that was before Cliché. And then a couple years later, Jeremy started Cliché, and he called Manuel, and then through Manuel and Alexis, I got into the team. But yeah.
Okay. And I was just wondering, about Jeremy, do you have any other memories apart from meeting him that day at the local spot? Throughout the years, writing for Cliché, any fun memories of maybe a session or just hanging out with him in Lyon or wherever?
Yeah, I remember on the very beginning we used to go to Lyon, because on the very beginning most of the guys were not from Lyon, but some of them from Lyon, and some of them living in Lyon or not far away. So there was a lot of things happening in Lyon. There was Le Box, Pontus got on the team later, and so there was a lot of hanging in Lyon,
Yeah.
It was just really cool. Jeremy obviously is from there, and he knows everyone, and he was taking us to really cool places, restaurants, like friends of him, and I don't know. I remember this really, that I can't remember his name, but I think he just passed away a year ago. But he was really funny and really crazy. And my French was zero at the time. My English was very limited, but I remember just having dinner at this place, and getting in the kitchen with Jeremy and his friend, and they were just I was not understanding half of they were saying,
but it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember always Jeremy with I don't know why, because he's friends, and he's really friends with food and wine,
Oh yeah. He's in French we say un bon vivant. He likes to eat. Yeah.
With his knife, cutting cheese and drinking wine and stuff like that.
Very French indeed.
He's very French. Yeah, he's very French. Really gnarly skater too. It's funny because in Cliché there was all these amazing really technical skaters. They were not falling as much as I was and Jeremy. Jeremy and me were taking the slams.
Yeah.
So I've been always taking really hard slams. I'm not like a very talented skater. I'm just really dedicated, but still to this day, I take, this is how I understand and how I see skateboarding. I push myself and I take slams, and I think Jeremy has a similar approach. So I really enjoy skating with him.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's this is just a side thing, but I started skating in the year 2000. I was 13, and Europa was the first video I ever watched.
Okay.
And I hadn't even seen skating in person, I don't think, before that. And watching that video just blew my mind. I was like, oh my! I watched it, I think, 5 times in a row, slow mowing. It was such an impactful video on me at the time.
Yeah, Bon Appetit, I think, is the one that everyone remembers, and it's an amazing video. But everyone is the one that everyone talks about.
Right.
But I think Europa is also an incredible.
Yeah, it's very different too. I mean, it's
very different.
Editing style, the whole
yeah,
the music. But it was a cool video for that time. It was
and Jeremy
really cool.
also. I mean, on Bon Appetit he was ripping too, but I think in Europa his video part is like I look at it maybe a month ago. I watched it.
Yeah, it's gnarly. Like he's jumping on rails.
Oh,
and,
he was so gnarly.
The board slide at Bercy, to this day, it's insane.
Yeah. I remember going there years later because I wasn't there when they filmed the board slide, but I went there years later and look at it from the top, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. It's scary for sure. Yeah. And so to wrap it up with Andrew's questions, he asked kind of what your thoughts were as Cliché was, closing kind of around 2015, 2016. What your thoughts were at the time about the next chapter in your life,
Yeah.
Because at that time you were living in France, you were already painting, and
so
you were kind of already in this new...
For me, it was just, it was the right time, I mean, I didn't want Cliché to end at all, but
sure.
When it was just like, okay, this is it, I didn't even think twice, about like trying to get a new sponsor or anything like this. It was just like, and I have so many Cliché boards in my house.
Oh, you do? Oh, cool.
No, not anymore, Not anymore.
Okay.
But when
at the time?
At the time that I keep skating Cliché boards for maybe 2 or 3 years.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. You had a bunch stacked, okay.
Yeah. No, not anymore. I keep a few ones, but now I'm good friend with Pontus, so I get
Polar?
I got love packages from Polar every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. I think I was 35, 36, and I didn't really wanna keep traveling anymore. I remember going on a tour and coming back, and I was like, I think this is it.
Yeah, you wanted to settle down and...
Yeah, I don't want to go back. I mean, you know what a tour is, you go with a big crew and you gotta wait, you go to check some spots that you don't maybe feel like skating, Maybe when you're younger you skate or whatever, but when you're getting older you wait for the right spot, you have a limited energy,
Yeah.
So anyway, I went on, I can't remember, I think it was in Italy. I came back and I think that was it.
Yeah, you were ready to move on.
So it was like a very natural transition for me, I was already starting new activities and opening new chapters. So yeah, very organic and
Did
natural.
you have other sponsors aside from Cliché at the time? I think Gravis was probably in the picture, or Converse, or...
Yeah, but Gravis also went out of business pretty much at the same time.
Oh, okay, it was around the same time. Okay.
So then, my good friend Pali was doing Converse in Spain. He was giving me shoes, and I was even getting paid a little bit, as a European rider. But something really, I told him that I was not going to go on many trips. So it was like, yeah, you do whatever you want.
Okay.
And then I was with Quicksilver, which then the relationship as a skater ended right after that too. And I keep working with them as
an artist. Yeah.
Yeah, freelance consulting with the creative team.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it was just it all worked out perfectly for me.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's interesting that all those things kind of happened simultaneously, but it's it was the end of a cycle for you, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, the end of a cycle.
All right, let's see. This one's from Charles Collet, another Cliché teammate.
Yeah.
He said, ask him what is scarier, ski jumping or doing frontside stalefishes in concrete pools? And if the former helps with the latter. And also, where is he at with his French?
Okay, yeah, it's been a while that I haven't seen Charles, so...
Probably better in French now, yeah.
Charles, la prochaine fois, on peut parler en français.
Perfect, there you go.
The question was... What was the question?
Ski jumping
frontside
stalefish, yeah. What's scarier?
Well, I was 13 when I was ski jumping, so I was not scared of anything at all. I was just going for it. At the same time, I've been doing frontside stalefish for 30 years, so I would not be able to do frontside stalefish on on a backyard pool right now, but
Or it would take a little while to get the legs running and everything, I guess.
Yeah. But it was funny because, I was coming from ski jumping. Even I was skating at the same time too, but I was little kid enjoying jumping and going fast and. But when I met Thomas, that I was 15, the very first photo we took, it was a huge gap that is around the corner from my parents' place, and it's still there. And now when I go visit them, I pass by and I look at it, and it's still big. And I think there was a connection, just from coming from ski jumping to do big jumps. Because on the very beginning, I was more like a street skater than a transition. Yeah. So all connected. Yeah.
All right. This one is from Steve Forstner.
Yep.
So who was not on Cliché, but was on Antis. And you guys, I think you skated for Gravitz together, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
So he said, ask him how important, or if it was important for him, to go back home to the Basque country on a regular basis. I went with him a few times and ended up living there for about a year at some point. And I always felt like it's a place where you can recharge your batteries and enjoy life with the nature that is there, plus good skating as well. It's like 180 degrees, the opposite of Barcelona, which is also great, but Barcelona drains you a little bit. Maybe get his take on that.
Cool. Great question, Steve. It is. It was and it is and it will be very important. And now I live not far away, but even when I was in Barcelona, a bit farther, and I was traveling a lot. Yeah, it's the place where I grew up. My family is there. I have really good friends there. And I told you, I was there last weekend, and I was telling my wife, I didn't skate this time last weekend, but I went surfing the 3 mornings that I spent there. And I don't know. Also, I live in even if it's very close, I live in a foreigner country, with a different language. So I was telling my wife, just walking down to the beach and going in the water and just running into people that I haven't seen for some of them, people that they are maybe not my closest friends, but I know them from my little town, and it's a great feeling. Great feeling.
Yeah.
And every time I go, I tell my wife the same. We should come more often because it is a great feeling just to go. I mean, spend time with family, spend time with close friends, but also it's still a small town, So you just go and you just run into people that it's been a long time, and it's a great feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
So it is important. Yeah.
All right. This one is from Leo Sharp.
Okay.
He said to ask you about winning a guitar at the Vans Downtown Showdown on top of the building where they filmed The Italian Job in Torino.
Okay. Funny.
Yeah, pretty random.
I still have that guitar. I don't really play it because I don't play guitar that much. I have a Spanish guitar that I play a little bit. But anyway, if I'm correct, that was the very first European version of the, how was it called? The Downtown Showdown?
Vans Downtown Showdown.
Yeah. So they started doing it in United States, and then they did the European version, and the very first one, it was in Torino, in Italy. I never really enjoyed skating in contest. I did it on the very, very beginning. In Spain, because when I moved to Barcelona, I was not making any money from skateboarding or from anything. I went to study, and my parents were paying for my school, but my dad was like, "Hey, you gotta figure out, rent and food and everything,
Okay.
So the very first year in Barcelona, I was surviving from doing contests, pretty much. Contest in wherever in Spain. I was taking a bus all night long, doing the contest with the pressure of making it in the first 3 to make
to make a little bit of money.
Yeah. So anyway, a bit later, I started getting a little bit of money from Quicksilver and blah, blah, blah. So I stopped doing contests. I never really enjoyed that. So I wasn't getting invited to do contests, and I was saying no, thank you, most of the time. And then many years later, this contest happened, but it was different because it was by teams, it was clique. So we got invited by Cliché team,
Okay.
So I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do it. Why not? and it was my very first contest in a very long time. And wow, I think I won best pro, best trick, and then second team with Cliché.
Wow.
And it was a lot of money. I remember,
really? Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember how much, but seriously, it was like, wow, I came back to Barcelona with like
that was a productive.
Yeah, with a big smile, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the guitar,
awesome.
and the guitar, and the location was incredible too. It was on top of this building on the roof.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what he was mentioning, right? The Italian Job. Is that a movie, for like an old movie or something?
I think, if I'm correct, it was like a Fiat, the Italian car brand.
Yeah, sure.
And they were, I don't know if it wasn't a factory, it was more like a storage where they were like keeping the cars. And then on top of the building, there was like this race, race truck, where they were probably like trying or proving the cars, I'm talking about, maybe it's from the 70s, the building. And it was on top of this, so it was on the roof, on top of the building.
Wow, okay.
It was fun. It was really, it was fun to do a contest after a very, very long time. And it was different format, with the teams and thing. And I don't know, you remember the format too. It was like the teams designing obstacles,
Yep.
So it was like the Cliché obstacle, and I can't remember the other teams. But yeah, good memories for sure.
Hey, Javi, amigo. Okay, so I don't really have a specific question for you. Instead, I'll be happy that you tell us about working on the most epic project that was Cuatro Sueños Pequeños, directed by Thomas Campbell, which was really fun project to work on with you. And if you can tell us some stories, some locations you found for the film, like the pyramid in the south of Spain, and also the frustration of shooting on 16mm film sometimes for you, and then also all the good memories that come to your mind. All right, thank you.
Nice one, Fred. Yeah, I mean, we already talked about it a little bit before, and as I say, it's funny because it's called Cuatro Sueños Pequeños. That is means 4 little dreams. For me, it was only one, but one huge big dream, to be in that project. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I said before too that I was finding the spots, locations, organizing the trips.
Do you remember where you filmed? Was it in Spain, but was it also in California maybe, or?
Yeah, there was a little bit in California, especially I think they did some filming with only with mothers. It was Thomas and mothers because he was missing some footage from mothers. Mm-hmm. So they did a little bit of filming there. And I filmed some underwater stuff in there because, this is bringing the funny story that Fred was asking for.
Okay.
Because, Thomas in all his surf movies, he loves underwater, he loves water, and he wanted to have some underwater. Just me with my skating clothes and shoes and the board, just going in the water and filming underwater. So we were in Mallorca. I think we spent like 4 days, and the very first day, it was sunny. The ocean was like, Mediterranean, blue, flat. And I took them to a really cool spot for swimming that I know. But Thomas was like, it was important for him to have like the sun right on top, And it was getting a bit late. So he was like, no, it's cool, but it's too late. And I knew the next days the weather was not going to be the same. So I remember have a little bit of not an argument, but I tried to push. I tried to make him understand that it was maybe not going to be so good the next days. Yeah. And he was like, we know each other very well now. And he was like, Javi, don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Anyway, so we didn't film that day, and then it was the very last day at the end, and we didn't have the footage. I think it was the last trip So we tried anyway, because if not, I was going to have to fly to California, to Santa Cruz, to film this underwater thing.
Okay.
So we tried, and the ocean was gnarly. I mean, the Mediterranean sometimes can get, bumpy. Let's say. And it was definitely bumpy. And we went back to the same spot, which is Cala de Ya. It's like, you have like these cliffs around. And it was not a nice day. Thomas is with the camera. I'm with all my clothes and my shoes on the board. It's just like it's not easy for swimming.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go far out, because it was more mellow. It was not so bumpy, more flat. And we tried, but there were some waves coming in, and after a while I started yelling at him because he was a little bit farther. I was like, Thomas. So he waited for me, and I finally got to him, and I remember I think I put my hand on his shoulder, and he was like, he kind of like, it's like, don't do that, he thought that I was on panic.
Okay.
And when you are, and it can be dangerous if someone is on panic, if you grab the other person,
Yeah.
It's just like, I wasn't on panic. I was just like, man, this is not a good idea. It's just like, I'm struggling. I'm not on panic, but I'm struggling. It's like, we gotta go back. Anyway, so we couldn't film the thing. And then I have to go back to California. And another even more crazy thing happened over there. It was just like, it was in Santa Cruz. I can't remember the time of the year, but I remember the water was freezing.
Okay.
There was a surf contest at the time with all the pro surfers, all the guys were in town, and the surf contest was called cold water.
Okay.
It was freezing, and Thomas called a couple of friends, probably the best two guys you can ask for to have with you in the water. One is Mark Cunningham, that is like a lifeguard from Hawaii. Must be in his late 60s. He's an older guy.
Okay.
But he's a legend. He has saved many lives. And the other guy is a photographer that I'm not going to remember his name right now, but he's a really cool guy, and he works with Kelly Slater all the time. He's one of the best photographers.
Surf photographer?
Yeah, so he was there shooting photos and helping us. And anyway, we paddle out. We swim out. We were having a bodyboard to have some cameras on top. These guys were wearing wetsuits, but I wasn't. I was with my same clothes. During the whole movie, I was having the same clothes.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Man, we stayed for like an hour, and I remember just telling them, it's like, hey, it's getting cold, man, it's getting cold. And they were like, yeah, one more go, one more try. I was like, oh, it's getting cold. And at one point, I remember grabbing the bodyboard, and Mark, who knows about this kind of stuff, he looked at me on the eyes and he's like, are you okay? And I couldn't talk. I was frozen.
Oh, shit, yeah, okay.
And I was just saying yes with my head, just like, but I couldn't really talk. And he was like, no, you are not. You are not this. And he was like, we gotta
leave, yeah.
We gotta take Javi back, like, to the beach right now. And he grabbed me and he started swimming really fast, and he took me back to the beach. And I remember just my jaw. Yeah, my jaw was like
shaking.
I couldn't control it. I was suffering a hypothermia. That was what happened. And we were like a little bit far away from everywhere. And there was this isolated house, and they took me there. We knocked on the door and it's like, we gotta put this guy on the hot shower right now.
Yeah.
The guy was super nice. They put me on the shower for like 10 minutes. And then we stayed in the house he made some tea, and they gave me a blanket. And I remember just being we were like on a circle just of people just talking. And I remember just my brain going so slow. I couldn't participate. I couldn't be part of the conversation because someone was saying something, and my brain was taking so long to process that I remember just like slowly getting back,
Yeah.
It was a crazy feeling.
I'm sure. Maybe it's I don't know if that's it, but maybe the blood circulation was slowed down from the freezing or something. I don't know.
Probably. I don't know exactly what happens to your body, but I know your body, because that's how people die from hypothermia. Because you don't feel bad, you feel good. It's like It's actually not it's not the worst death you can have. It's because you give up, you know.
Yeah.
Mostly this kind of situation happens to you in the mountain or in the water. So you kind of lay down and you just fall asleep and you die.
And you die, yeah.
That's how you die from hypothermia. So.
Well, good thing you were with that. What was his name? Mark, right?
Mark Cunningham. Yeah,
he saved you.
He saved my life. Yeah.
Wow.
So all this for this underwater 3 seconds footage.
Well, thank you for doing all that. I mean, the movie is incredible, but I had no idea you had gone through such a struggle for filming that. Yeah.
I mean, the rest was a lovely time ever. There is always, some
harder times.
Some harder times, yeah.
All right, let's see. This one I have is from Luca Puig, one of my all-time favorite skaters.
Great.
He said, would you go back on a gypsy tour like the good old days? And which cliché trip was your favorite?
I could go back to a gypsy tour for a couple of days, no longer than that.
Yeah, not too long.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good to go back with this guy. I mean, these guys were younger. Jeremy was the oldest and I was the second oldest pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be amazing to go back for a couple of days with all of them. And Lucas lives in Biarritz, right next to me, but we don't see...
Do you guys see each other sometimes?
No, not that much. He surfs because he surfs a lot. He surfs more in Biarritz area that I don't really go that often, and I surf more over here. So every once in a while, but not that much.
Okay.
So yeah, I will go back with you, Lucas.
But just a couple days.
Couple days. No longer than that. And I think I already answered that question before, but some of the best memories I think it was from Cliché was from the gypsy tours. I'm trying to think.
What about meeting with Lucas? Because I remember we were talking about Europa earlier. Lucas was very young at that time, and I think he has one trick at the very, very end in the credits. He's skating in the Créteil blocks with Gigi Rousseau.
Yeah.
And he's following him. I think Gigi does a trick and he does a switch barrel heel or something. But I don't think he was sponsored by Cliché at the time. He was probably just coming up kind of. But do you remember meeting him and witnessing his talent kind of at a young age, or?
I'm pretty sure he was in Barcelona. At least it's the first memory I have from seeing him, and he was maybe 13. It was the way I remember it, because both of them, Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Lucas, they're from Toulouse.
From Toulouse, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think, or at least to me, it was Jean-Jacques' friend, he was like, hey, this is my little boy, ripping. That's how I remember it. But yeah, he was so young. And he was already incredible.
Even at that age?
Bon appetit. But yeah, we went on some trips, and it happens in every generation, there is this younger kid comes on the trip for the first time and makes all the other guys just trip out,
Yeah.
He's skating every spot, and all the other guys just sitting around and just looking at each other. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, he's had a pretty epic career. I mean, he's still ripping I think we're the same age. I think he's from 87, so he's 37, 38. But
and he's still ripping, and he I think moving here to Biarritz with his family. He has 2 kids now, surfing and everything. He seems very happy, and
yeah.
He managed to, he has a strong personality and very unique, and that's something really cool to see,
mm-hmm.
on all the videos, all the clips you see, all his trick celebrations and everything. It makes me laugh a lot. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do this one.
So people often ask me, how is it that I tapped into my creative side so late in life? And I think the answer is just that, during COVID, the world became calm and I became calm. And I had been used to living a chaotic life as a skateboarder, being out in the streets all the time and being in bars and events and traveling and all of that. And I grew to love being at home. And with that came, a stillness and a calmness and the idea that I wanted to tap into a more creative side of myself. And yeah, as a skateboarder, I lived a chaotic life, and I think most pro skaters or skateboarders in general kind of do. For yourself, when did you tap into your creative side? Is that something that you always knew that existed within you, or as you've gotten older and further away from the skateboard identity, is it something that is now becoming more prevalent in your life?
Lee Smith.
Yes, yeah, we were talking about him earlier.
Yeah, cool, man. It's funny because Lee is painting is doing an amazing work. I really like. It's different. It's funny because Lee and myself, we been always having really different approach or different. We started skateboarding before, and now we're starting painting. But with different approach, I would say.
Yeah, short styles.
But I think, or that's how I feel, we always appreciate and like each other. I remember when he was in Barcelona, he comes more from hip-hop music and really technical skateboarding and just the way he was, the look, the dressing and everything, it's been always really different. But this thing just comes to my mind. I remember there was a moment where we were playing soccer, no league, but I think, or maybe he came a couple of times, but he was there at that time, and I was like, I'm not good at all at soccer, but I was giving my 100%, trying really hard, and Lee came to me and he was like, man, I like you because you, no matter what, it's like skating or party or soccer, you just always on your 100%. But he told me that. I don't know if he remembers, but that stayed on my...
It stuck with you? Yeah.
Yeah, it stuck with me, yeah. But yeah, I think we have a pretty similar, in this occasion, similar timing, I guess. We went from skateboarding slowly into painting, and it definitely, we live pretty much the same thing. That's what he was saying, it's just like going from a more chaotic life into more calm days and less distractions, more time to think, more time to realize what you want to do next, It's I said before, for me it was something that I always wanted to do, but I didn't find the time or the place. But yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself. I already said, and Leah just said very well too. It was arriving here in France that I found the time and the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was trying to think of other pro skaters who have, become painters and artists. And so, of course, Lee came to mind. I know Nick Jensen also is becoming more and more famous for his paintings. Mm-hmm. And I heard, I don't think I've seen much work from him, but I know Brian Lottie is also a talented painter.
Yeah, Brian Lottie has been doing it for a while. Yeah, he's amazing. I think he's doing really well actually in LA. But yeah, he went on to like documentaries because he also did this movie in Barcelona with some skaters that I wasn't part of. But I talked to him about it. Mm-hmm. But then I think he was already painting, and I think since then, and this is like. I'm going to say it's 2011 maybe. Okay. When he was in Barcelona doing this film thing. But since then he's been, I think, a full-time painter and doing really well. And I love what he does.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if there were other skaters like the ones we just mentioned that kind of influenced you. We've been talking about Thomas this whole time, Fernando, but were there some other people maybe that you saw them like getting into painting or maybe some other form of art, but you thought, okay, maybe this is, I want to do something somewhat similar,
I mean, there is some guys that they are maybe well known as skaters, but they are like an amazing artist. It's not like a pro skater getting into painting after skateboarding career. I'm sure there is more. I mean, Brian Anderson He's been painting for a long time.
That's
too.
true. Yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah.
I know he's painting.
I think Mark Johnson, I heard, is
Mark Johnson also. Yeah, there is more. I'm trying to think but Tony Cox.
Yeah.
And I'm sure. Many more. Many
funny.
more.
Yeah.
But also, I was saying there is some other people like for Cuatro Sueños Pequeños, we work with this guy artist Nathaniel Russell. I don't know.
Yes, I've heard. Yeah.
And I think he comes from skateboarding. I really like what he does too.
Mm-hmm.
And there is Geoff. I cannot say his last name. I'm gonna try. People is gonna laugh. Geoff McFritz or something like this.
Oh yeah. I think it's McFetridge or something like that. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it better.
Sorry, Geoff. But yeah, he skates. He rips. And he comes from skateboarding.
I think he's part of this whole team with Thomas and Ed Templeton, right? The whole what was it?
Beautiful
called?
Losers.
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, the Beautiful Losers. I mean, you have Mark Gonzalez and all these guys. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So skateboarding and creativity it's a cliché, but it's something that they go together. Huh?
Yeah. No, for sure. This next one is from Nils Inne. I'm never sure how to say his last name. Nils Inne. He's a French artist.
Yeah. I mean, he
lives not too far from you, right?
There is a new mini ramp. It's like from last week near my house, like around the corner, and I saw him last week over there. Yeah.
Okay. He said, "Who are 3 of your favorite artists, dead or alive, whose studios you'd love to visit and see them create a painting?"
There is, I'm so bad with names. I'm going to have to go. There is, of course, there is some paintings that I like a lot. One artist that I can tell you, I don't know if Nils knows him because he's a really good friend of mine. I met him through Thomas Campbell. He's originally from California, from San Diego, but he lives in Mallorca now. And he comes visit us quite often. He was here let's say a month ago. He's a surfer too. I love his work. I mean, I try to get influenced by him because it's not even easy. But we talk a lot. We talk a lot about art, and but I've been at his studio, and we, I have visited his studio many times, and I have learned a lot. I think sometimes every artist has like a moment where there's like, oh, I'm repeating myself. I'm just like doing the same thing. At least I have it. I think many artists have this feeling.
Sure.
And then what I do is I look back 5 years. I go back 5 years, and then you look at what were you doing?
Yeah.
And you can see a little bit of evolution. I hope
progression.
Yeah. I see on my work a difference before I meet Julian and after I met Julian. I think something that not many people is gonna be able to see, but I can see, and I love his work. I think he's an amazing musician too, but his artwork is incredible. I really like it.
This is bringing just a question from me, but I was wondering, because since Nils was asking about artists that should like to see, work on a painting in their studio, I was wondering, would you prefer, working on a painting by yourself in your studio and have no distractions, like nobody else in the place with you? Or do you also like, being in presence of other people? I don't know if my question makes sense, but...
Oh, it does, yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I like the solitude, the loneliness of the studio. I like it, I enjoy it. But also, there's been a few art residencies where I've been painting with some of the guys. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool too. I enjoy that. It depends of who are you painting with, I have done a lot of residencies with my good friend Julian Lorenzo.
Oh yeah,
he's a skater too.
Yeah.
Skater from Spain, and he's another guy that our paintings are quite different. But he went to school. He has a lot of technique, and he is the guy that I talk to most. And I ask questions all the time, and I learn a lot from him too. And I love. Now we are doing one in September in Bilbao, an art residency, 3 weeks. He's one of my closest friends, so it's just really funny, to spend the day painting and just talking shit and having fun. Yeah.
Well, talking about working on art, I saw that you did the cover of Ray Barbee's latest EP. So I asked Ray to submit a question. And so his question is, first, Javi, let me start by saying thank you so much for doing such a beautiful job with the art on my new record. It's amazing. My question is, when you look at your work, is there a painter that you can see little hints of? And who are your favorites?
Yeah. I just say that I'm big fan of Geoff. I'm not going to say his last name again because... But
Petridge or something.
Yes. Sometimes I can see some similarities, I mean, obviously me being influenced by him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really like what he does. And there is some of my paintings that I have some of his. That can be probably the more obvious. And then just say to even less obvious, it will be Julian Smith. Very less obvious, but yeah, it's definitely something in there too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I mean, now I'm gonna go on the biggest league, but even Picasso is one of my favorites. You know?
Yeah,
and,
I can see kind of the influence in your art for sure.
Yeah, but there is definitely some Picasso influence on my paintings, and even a little bit of Miro. Maybe less obvious, but yeah, big fan of Miro too. I was going to reply to Ray. Thanks to you, Ray, for this amazing dream project too.
I wanted to ask you, how did that come about? Like, did you know Ray before? Had you skated with him or met with him here and there? Maybe?
Yeah, I think it must be through Thomas that we met the first time. I'm not even sure. But I've been also, I got invited a while ago by Joey Brook on a Thrasher trip that he was in Detroit.
Yep.
He invited, there was Stefan Janowski, Seret Bassett, Ray. I mean, there was a bunch of skaters who, they were doing some kind of art, photography art, collage. Jason Adams was there.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of guys, yeah. It was an amazing project, really cool trip. And Ray was there. So I think that was the longest we ever hang out together. I remember now being after Cuatro Sueños Pequeños, Thomas did another skate movie.
Yeah, the Distraction.
Yeah, and I got invited on the very first trip they did. And Ray was there too. So yeah, we've been hanging out with Thomas and a few other times. Mm-hmm. And man, Ray is the coolest. Like, for real. Like, it's like one of the nicest persons I ever met. Not in in life.
In life, yeah.
He's the coolest guy. He's
extremely positive and great energy. Yeah.
Incredible energy. Very, very. He's close to people. He's always he always have the time to talk to everyone. He's a great talker.
Yeah.
I love him. And so it was incredible. I was like, last year I started working a little bit on movie projects, scouting.
Okay.
I got contacted last year by a Spanish production that they were shooting in France, and they were looking for someone speaking Spanish and French. So I did it for the very first time. And it was the very first time doing it. So I was a little bit lost.
Yeah.
And I was suffering a little bit because it's intense, and I didn't really... It took me a little bit to understand the job, and I was like, I was suffering a little bit. And I remember waking up in the morning and just getting a message on my phone from Ray. It's like, hey, Javi, what's up, man? And asking me to do this. And I remember just going like, just...
Yeah, like, yeah, fuck yeah.
being so stoked,
Yeah.
That was, you know how it is. It takes some time in this. That was like a year ago. So it took a year until the album came out. Because it was the album, and then they decided to do this guest artist board with a Crooked.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
With the cover. So incredible to be able to do the cover for Ray under Tommy Guerrero's label. I'm a huge fan of Tommy. I met him a couple of times too. And then having this Crooked guest board.
Dream come true, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's do this one. This is a pretty random one, but you'll see.
Okay,
here you go. Should I speak English or hablo español? Javi, I know you used to travel a lot, and I have a question, but for myself, I need some help. I lost my passport, and I'm flying to Spain in 2 days. Can you give me some advice to get the faster way to find a passport to get home? Saludos, amigo.
Man.
Did you recognize who that was, or?
Yeah, that's Julian Furones.
Yes.
It's not just the voice. It's just the question. You know, it's like this is such a Julian Furones situation moment and question.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was texting with him a couple of days ago about this, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm stuck with my passport and all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." And then he said, "Oh, I'm just gonna send a question," and it was this. So okay, perfect.
Oh man, I love Julian so much, man. I miss him a lot because he's been long time. He's there in Germany, and I can't remember.
How did you guys first meet? Because I know he used to skate for aunties, and so did you guys maybe connect in Lyon, or what was like the connection kind of?
No, we live in Barcelona at the same time for many years.
Okay.
And then I would say maybe 3 or 4 years, we were on ethnies, European ethnies.
I forgot about that. That's right.
So we traveled together a little bit too. But we were hanging out in Barcelona a lot. I mean, I love his skate. I love him as a person.
He's a great skater, yeah.
I love his skating. I think he's so unique, so unique.
Powerful, graceful, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So cool to watch him skating. And we love the same kind of spots. So there used to be this mini ramp up in the hills in Barcelona, Guinaueta, that not many people were skating it, and we used to go skate it together because we really like it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, it's been a long time, and we talk every once in a while, and we try to make it happen and see each other. But man, I go pick you up in Germany, I put you in the trunk, and we make it to Barcelona. But actually, I don't think you need a passport to travel from Germany to Spain. I think with the ID, so it's fine, no?
I'm not sure if on the plane they would ask for it. I don't know. I haven't flown in a few years now, so not sure. But yeah, technically, I guess if you're in the European Union, you should be able to travel with your ID.
I'm pretty sure. So, Julian, put your shit together and come over here.
All right. This one, so I don't know if you're very familiar with this guy. This guy is Dave Aron. He's an artist, American artist.
Yeah, we never met, but we have many friends in common, and we have, have a little message here and there. Instagram message talk, but we have so many friends in common, like Fernando and Thomas, and I mean, the list goes forever. But
For sure.
yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, perfect. So I asked him for a question. He said, "Hey Javier, it's been so exciting and inspiring seeing your art practice lately, with the first impression being how well your works express place, time, whimsical connectivity, temperature, and maybe a mastering of presence and leisure within architecture and atmosphere."
Oh, wow.
Wow. What would you say spawned this particular imagery and palette? Do you draw from the classics in art history and or regional history? Is there a steady graphics approach from skateboarding or record cover arts, perhaps? Also, were there any close friends early on that were making art within skateboarding that got you thinking about it outside of the culture? Or were you always making stuff from the beginning? All the best, brother.
Awesome. Wow. I mean, he's a true artist, man. He's like... I would like to meet him. Actually, he's a bit older. He's like Thomas, Fernando's generation, and I know he's a good friend with them. He was living in New York before. I think he lives upstate now in the mountains, still skating.
Yeah.
And I think he was really part of the art scene in New York before the Beautiful Losers with the Alex Gallery. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Thanks for the comments, man. But My inspiration comes mainly from nature. You know, I've been always, even when I was taking photos, I've been always inspired by nature and shapes and forms of nature. And there is definitely inspiration from Fernando too, which it comes from also Picasso, I would say. This Spanish side is there. And color palette, man, it's something that it comes, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but I see color palettes everywhere. This is like, normally I take photos when I see like it can be everywhere, in a restaurant, everywhere. I see two, or sometimes it's only two, sometimes 4 colors together. And I was like, oh, these colors, they look amazing. And I take a photo, and then I start working from there.
Okay.
It's just like something that, colors are very important to me, and I see colors. I pay attention, and they call me.
That's interesting. So you see like a combination of colors just randomly, and that will inspire later a painting, kind of. So you'll like shoot a photo and try to take that combination somewhat and use it in the painting.
Yeah, then I draw too. I draw a lot. I have my books. So I draw until suddenly I see something that I like, Sometimes it's just like a little detail, but it's like, okay, there is something that I like here, and then I start building around there.
Okay.
And then it starts getting bigger, and then it's like, okay, and then I start adding colors, and when I get to the color that moment, that's when I was like, okay, let's see which colors could be good here, and then I look back on my phone if I have photos, or even sometimes from other paintings, I think, or I hope everyone does the same.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was not me who realized about this. It was someone else who told me that, like the way I skate and the way I paint, like these organic forms that you can find on my paintings. It's connected to the way the lines, like my skating is like more and more and more, like the older I get, maybe I do less tricks and I work more on lines and connecting all the tricks with better lines. Mm-hmm. So lines are important to me, and I think the lines on my skating are connected to my lines on my paintings.
All right, let's. I have just a few last ones, and then I'll let you go.
Hey Javi, it's your old amigo Mike from Australia. I just wanted to say thanks for all the good times, showing me around your part of the world and skating and good meals and traveling together. I just wanted to ask you, do you like street skating just as much as transition? I mean, probably you like skating everything, but always enjoyed watching you skate street. And also, just wanted to say keep going with your artworks as well. It's really cool. I'd love to see where you take it. It's looking really interesting and very, very much a representative of you stylish fella. All right, I hope all is well. All the best. Saludos.
Amazing. Mikey, Miguelito, I call him in Spanish. It's funny because I was listening to your interview with Mikey yesterday,
Okay.
And it made me miss him even more. It's been a while. We spent, I would say, maybe 5, 6, 7 years traveling a lot together. They used to have this skate trip, the Hun Run in Australia, where there was these Australian skaters going on camping and skating and, getting a little bit wild.
Okay.
And I was I think the only one, the first and the only no Australian skater invited to go on that trips. And that was thanks to him and to Al Boglio, both of them.
Oh, yeah.
I knew Michael Melly from before, I told you, from when I met Al Boglio and Jeremy Daklak.
Way back.
Way back. And then we met again in Bar Manolo, the skate bar in Barcelona.
Yeah, I heard about this place, yeah.
And then from there, we start talking each other more often, and then he started inviting me on trips, and we spent 5 years traveling or more. And I used to go to visit him in LA too when he was living in LA. So yeah, really good friend, and I miss you, Mikey, a lot. So street skating and transition skater. I'm just a better transition skater, but I like street skating as much as I like transition skating. I'm just better at transition. That's it.
Okay.
But I've been, I would say I've been putting pretty much the same energy and time in street skating. Maybe it doesn't look like, but it's true. And maybe on the beginning when I was in La Cantera, obviously it was more transition. But when I arrived in Barcelona, there was no many skate parks. Mm-hmm. I would say 3 of them. All of them a little bit up, like 2 of them up in the city. The other one all the way almost to Badalona, at the end of the beach. So not a little bit far. And I was on a street skating paradise, So the first 3-4 years, I was just skating the streets of Barcelona. Mm-hmm. And now that I skate most of the time, 99% of the time I skate, I go to the same skate park, my local skate park here. But the last years I realized without thinking about it, that because I never been really good at flipping my board, never been a technical skater. Mm-hmm. But lately I've been, I'm 48 now, but I would say like since the last 3-4 years, being 44, 45, spending more time. Also because I skate with Hugo and Telmo, and they are more like technical. So, the people that you skate with is always a big influence.
Sure, yeah.
And, and we play together, hey, let's try to do this and that. And so I'm getting better at flipping my board.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You cannot call it street skating because I'm skating on a skate park, but I always been enjoying all kind of skating, Mm-hmm. I say Matt Hensley at the beginning of the interview, but and he was one of the biggest influence when I was younger. But the guys that I was looking at when I was maybe still young but a bit older, it was all these all-terrain skaters, like Wade Speyer,
John
Cardiel, and still, Grant Taylor. That's the people. But even Dennis Busenich, he's more like more like a street skater who skates transition really well,
Mark Suchu.
Yeah, also. So I've been always enjoying people who can skate everything, and I've been trying myself to do the same.
Yeah. But do you enjoy doing sometimes like either now or in the past? Did you enjoy trying super tech tricks? Like I don't know, like I'm thinking for some reason of people like TJ Rogers who do like switch frontside big spin to switch front tail to switch flip out, that kind of stuff. Like not necessarily that technical, but did you ever had a period of time where you were challenging yourself and trying really tech tricks?
No, that's too far away, away from my league. No, but I've been trying to learn my things in flat and letters, Max, like I would say maybe a flip backside tail slides, but never really flipping out, more flipping in. Flip nose slides, flip, more flipping in than flipping out. But I have tried. I put some time, but I'm not really good at it, and I don't really have much patience,
Yeah. And were you very selective with your footage? Like, for example, when you filmed for the Cliché videos and all the other projects you were working on? Like, looking back at the footage, were you a little critical of yourself? Like, this was not good. I need to land this better or do this another way or something. Or my arm was not moving how I wanted it. Or were you kind of more like, oh, whatever, like, I'll just trust the filmer? And kind of what was your approach of that, of curating your footage?
This is funny because for some reason, not really, haven't been very picky or critical with the footage, but yes, with the photos. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
why.
Okay.
Yeah, I maybe it's because I was working with 80% of the time always with Fred Mortagne.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and even before Fred, I was just filming, and I don't know, I was not even looking at it. Or when they were editing my video parts, I was like, my video part was coming, out, and I will look at it for the first time. So I didn't really have control on my video parts or on the footage in general. But with the photos, maybe because I was taking photos, no skate photos, but I've been into photography a lot. I was sometimes a bit pain in the ass, because I was just like asking, oh, what are you shooting from? What is your angle? Oh, from here? Oh, okay. Maybe, what do you think about maybe shooting it a bit farther? Or, I was really...
nerding out,
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say controlling, but... Just trying, I wanted to be part of the photo, not just skate, just checking what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you talked about Fred, but I guess also Arto and some Mike O'Mealy. So these guys must have also been big inspirations in how you approach photography.
Yeah, I mean, with Arto, it's been more as skaters, He was, I met him when he was really young, and he was not even taking photos when I met him. And we grow up, we didn't grow up together, but our relationship was more through skateboarding.
Okay.
And then he started shooting photos when I was slowly not, getting more into painting and art and less in photography. But we talk about photography.
Okay.
But Mike O'Malley is, he's been a big influence. Obviously, I love his photos and I trust him.
Me too.
I told you he started taking me on trips. He was taking photos for Transworld. The main reason why I have interviews and photos in American magazines was because of him too. And also Mike is an amazing photographer, but he's really good at pushing people.
Mm.
Yeah, I know some people that doesn't like that part of Mikey. He's like he can be gnarly sometimes, but man, he's really good at
pushing them to
getting the best out of you.
Yeah.
The best out of you.
You need that in a filmer or a photographer.
Yeah. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy traveling and working with him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another photographer that I think he's amazing, Brian. Oh, his last name.
Gaberman?
Sorry, Brian Gaberman.
I'm not super familiar with his work, but I've heard of him for sure.
Yeah, he's for me. He was in a different
league.
I'm not gonna say better, or just different league. Different bubble, different universe for sure. Mm-hmm. He was so good. And Fred Mortagne as a photographer too.
Yeah. Okay, just a few last ones. Let's see.
Hi, how are you? I hope everything is okay for you. Look, my question is simple. Doing all this trip around the world, skateboarding, different transition and skate park, which one do you remember the best for you? And I have a second question is when you're going to visit me to take some wave here. Okay, take care, my friend. Love you.
Is that Luc?
Yeah, Luc. I'm not sure. Is it Luc Prouzat? Something like that?
Luc Prouzat, oui. Yeah. Well, it was hard to recognize his voice.
Yeah.
I mean, Burnside in Oregon, in Portland, was a very special place to me. Of course, I knew. I mean, I've been seeing photos and footage of this place since I was a kid. So to go there for the first time and skate there, it was amazing. And I've been many times after that. I think it was actually with Mike, maybe.
Okay.
I remember being with Mike because I remember this photo we took together. But Portland, Burnside is a very special place. I like it. It's it has like this gnarly side with the locals, blah, 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 and the history of the place. But it's just like, I love it. I love the place. I think La Cantera has some similarities, in a way. Not skateboarding or architecturally wise, but in the scene,
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. But and then with all these trips that I was telling you about with Mike, and then he was taking me in Australia, and then we went to New Zealand too. Australia to me has like the best skate parks in the world.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean now there is skate parks everywhere, and the skate parks that they're building, they're amazing. But there's all these old skate parks from the 70s, even older, but 70s, 80s in Australia, everywhere that they're incredible. It's like, I like concrete, I like all concrete, and I enjoy not very well designed skate parks, or maybe not so much anymore now that I'm thinking. But Yeah, now I like a smooth surface and easy, you know. But when I was younger, I was enjoying, not well designed and how do you say, rough surface. Yeah, and Australia is the paradise for this kind of terrain. So yeah, Australia and New Zealand, and even South Africa, it has some incredible backyard pools.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, different ones from the ones in America.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not so easy to skate, but yeah.
And so he said also, when are you gonna visit me to take some waves?
Man, I hope very soon. We talk quite often, me and Luc, but
where does he live?
He lives between. He has a house in Costa Rica, and he spends half of the year in Costa Rica, and then he comes to France and Spain.
Okay.
But yeah, he's inviting me to Costa Rica, and very soon, amigo, very soon. Pura vida.
All right.
Javi, ¿qué tal, amigo? Hey, remind me that time that you went up to Maui, your trip. You took a trip to Maui and you went up into the forest and your housing scenario. The reason I'm asking is this illustrates Javi's personality and his willingness to go far beyond the reaches of what most people would be comfortable doing. So, yeah, that's it.
Yes, that was a surprise to have Julian here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You were talking about it earlier. I was like, I'm going to try to keep it a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, I love Julian. Yeah, Maui. I went to Maui. I told you before when I met Fernando, he was traveling around the world and he was spending a lot of time in Hawaii.
Okay.
So this is before emails, and I was getting all these letters from Fernando, and he was making these really creative and colorful envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
He was not like putting his letters on a normal white envelope. He was making collages, and I still have them, all of them. It's amazing, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting these exotic, colorful letters from Hawaii. So I was like, I want to go to Hawaii so bad. I was 16, really young. So I have to wait a little bit until I was 21. And finally I went to Hawaii with Fernando. Fernando was already there, but we planned it together. And he was like, man, I'm gonna show you around for like a week. I think it was like a week. I'm gonna explain you how to survive. Fernando is a very special person, and he was spending many months a year for a while in Hawaii and living, sleeping in the jungle, grabbing fruit, picking up fruit from the trees. And that was like the letters. That was what he was telling me about in the letters, So I went there with him and he showed me around. He's like, you can sleep here, you can sleep there. There is some mango fruits here, papaya, coconuts. He teaches me how to climb coconut trees.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So after a week, he left, and I stayed for 1 month and a half by myself there. I bought a bicycle, a knife, and a blanket. And I stayed there for 1 month and a half, just doing this kind of stuff, living his lifestyle that I was being influenced by letters. So I spent 1 month and a half there, and I went this valley in Maui, Io Valley. There is a very special place. And they have, I don't know if it's still there, but they have this kind of a national park with houses, Hawaiian houses, it's a way to show people and tourists traditional Hawaiian architecture. And they have like these 5 houses with a roof and walls, but they don't have a door, so you can enter. And anyway, I was driving my bicycle there. Fernando showed me the spot, and I was sleeping there at night when the park was closed, and then waking up at 6 before the car was coming. Mm-hmm. We crossed each other, and he knew I was sleeping there, and we was like, good morning. I was leaving the place really clean, and he didn't have a problem, letting me stay there.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is some crazy stories to tell you about it. I don't know if Julian was having something in mind, but yeah, there was this time, because also that was like the entrance of the national park, but then there's this river where I was like walking up the river for you can go as far as you can for like an hour, 2 hours. That's like already like Jurassic Park, you are like in the middle of the jungle.
Very wild.
But very wild, by yourself. Anyway, I was like up in the river, like by myself. There was on this rock, I was just like laying down on the rock after swimming, drying. And then suddenly this helicopter came over. They were just on top of me. And there was like this guy through one of the doors just looking at me for like, for like a couple of minutes. I was like, what the fuck? And then they just keep going for like, let's say 300 meters. And suddenly a rope came down the helicopter. And one guy came down.
Okay.
And then 5 minutes later, 2 guys came up. And then the helicopter left. And I was like, what the fuck? What was that? And then I went out to the little town, the next day, and then look on the newspaper, and apparently there was this guy who broke his leg, and he was there. He spent the night there, and he was by himself. And
no way. Wow.
Yeah, and he was with a broken leg, and we were like, I don't know, like 200, maybe 300 meters
apart.
Oh, wow. And I was just like, I was just not being a tourist, because I wasn't being a tourist, but I was just like enjoying the sun, swimming, like enjoying life. And this guy was surviving, like fighting for his life, kind of.
Yeah, it's so strange that you were living very different experiences, but being so close. At the
so
same
close.
Time. Yeah.
So wow. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
I had this one from Kenny Reed, but I think you might have talked about this earlier. You said to ask you about El Lobo Solitario. But El Lobo, is that the name of the bar that you owned?
No, the bar was called La Lola. Lola is
okay.
Lola is a Spanish girl name.
Right, yes.
No, El Lobo Solitario was just like a name that I don't know who it was with. There was a moment where I was traveling a lot with Kenny and Quentin De Briey and Jerry and these guys.
Yep.
We went to Finland also a couple of times, different places. But I don't know. I've been always enjoying being by myself, like this trip in Hawaii,
Yeah.
So these guys, I was traveling, skating with skaters, but sometimes I was staying a bit longer to stay by myself and discover the country through no skating, just visiting some other places. Because sometimes with the skateboarding, you go to the skate spots and you see a little bit more, but not much, So, and yeah, so I don't know. I've been always enjoying to go to some places where there was no skateboarding and travel by myself. I went to Ghana in Africa. There I went with my girlfriend at the time, but India and I don't know, different places in Iceland with my bicycle. So these guys came with Lobo Solitario means the lonely wolf.
Oh, El Lobo is a Lulu, yeah, of course. Yeah, I didn't think of it. Okay, yeah.
It means the lonely wolf. So they start calling me in Spanish Lobo Solitario, the lonely wolf. Also because I was wearing this t-shirt. There was a moment where it was quite popular to have these animal wolves and bears t-shirts.
Right.
So I was wearing one of these wolf
t-shirts.
Wolf t-shirt, yeah. So yeah, that's where the Lobo Solitario is coming from.
Okay. All right, well, I have a very, very last one from your wife, from Carine. She said, in which ways skateboarding and painting are related to you? Okay.
I think I talked about it before a little bit.
This question I thought could be taken in different ways, because there's like, how is skateboarding and painting related to you, or how are they related to each other? But I guess she's asking more how are they related to you rather than between each other, kind of.
Yeah, I know. I see what you mean. Yeah, before I was explaining how I see the connection between my skating and my paintings.
The lines.
The lines, I would say maybe also, what she means is like if there is some similarities on what it brings to me, skating and painting. From what I know her, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's creativity, It's just be able to create when you have a canvas and you have just a black canvas. You can just do whatever you want. And skateboarding is just like infinite. It's pretty much the same feeling too. And being creative and just create your own world with tricks or with lines or with colors.
Thank you so much, Javier. I really appreciate you taking some time and sharing all these stories. Thank you very much. Yeah,
it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
That's it for my conversation with Javier. Follow him on Instagram at Javier Mendizabal to check out some of his paintings and to keep an eye on his upcoming projects. Treat yourself to all his amazing video parts and the Cliché videos, as well as Thomas Campbell's beautiful film Cuatro Sueños Pequeños. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon for a new episode of Beyond Boards.